In this video, I hope to address some issues in terms of the summarization of what we have known, some key important concepts that I think that may be fairly useful. The first thing you may need to understand is that know that your T transformation is a non-singular matrix. Alright, your T, if you still remember our transformation, is to inverse transform your xt to your x bar t. So your T over here is a non-singular matrix, and it's a similarity transformation from one system to another, but they're actually the same. They're exactly the same thanks to your transformation matrix over here. Alright? And your stability and natural responses can be studied from the eigenvalues of the matrix A. So it's in terms of whether it's your A controllable or your A non-controllable, you're going to find its eigenvalue. Alright? So this is something I would highly believe, or maybe I'm wrong, is because this A over here is already a system of a level of matrices, AC. Right, so you have a lot of system within this A already, and then this matrix is within another matrix. I don't know, for you to think about it, but at least you get to see that at the end of the day, they say that the controllable subspace, alright, the stability of the subspace is determined by the location of the eigenvalues of AC. Alright, same thing for the ANC also. Eigenvalues of AC and ANC. So from here, as you can see, AC cannot be just an eigenvalue, or I don't know of it. Or maybe if you were to solve Si minus A, then you get an eigenvalue, you solve for AC and ANC, then these are the values for your system, whether it is stable or not. But these are the things that you may need to consider. I can't give you any answers, but yeah, let's think about it. I mean, let's pause it and yeah, just awareness really. The next thing is controllability. The definition is something that we can steer the system state, alright, to a desired state, alright, or to back to its origin, so to speak. Alright, I think back to origin is a better thing to say in that manner. Alright, and then if some states are uncontrollable, alright, if the eigenvalues of the matrix A is stable, alright, then we are stable. This system is stabilizable. Okay, and then this is for controllability and stabilizability. If it's for observability, we are somewhat see that we can infer whether does the state can we predict the state or not. Alright, it's more on the prediction, because for controllability you are somewhat steering your system to something that you want to control. For observability, you are somewhat inferring from your observations that whether do you want to change things or not. Alright, and therefore if your unobservable systems, if you can determine whether it is stable or not, alright, based on the time decaying signal. Alright, I don't know what this is all about, but if it's stable, then you can say that your system is detectable also. Alright, so these are all the little stuff I think you just need to take note of during your revision time. And then controllability tells us about the feasibility of attempting to control a plant. Observability tells us about whether it is possible to know what is happening inside a given system or observing its output. So that's why we have been saying that observability is talking about the output itself, YT. Alright, if it's equals to 0, you cannot see anything. So you want it to be non-zero, alright, which is not 0, so that we can observe the system. So be very careful of this understanding. And the system properties are system invariants, because we have proved to you that from A we can change it to A bar, alright, based on certain transformation, and it doesn't change across certain systems. Although the values may change over here compared to here, but if you were to transform this thing back to A, you're getting back the same value of A. So it is something like translating Chinese to English and then translate English back to Chinese, same thing. So it's something like a system invariant, doesn't change across the system at all. Alright? But however, do take note that the changes in the number of input, alright, in your injection points, in injection points means that in every of your block diagrams, alright, you're gonna inject certain system and you're gonna somewhat observe it, alright, the number of input. And then the number of measurements also, and as in the choice of the variables to be measured can yield different properties. So although you have different systems, although you are your invariance across certain system because your information are the same. Alright, but if you are dealing with different inputs already, your properties you may have different input. Sorry, you may have different output properties already because of certain different inputs. Alright, because you are in one domain, this is in A domain, this is in A bar domain, so therefore different input will affect different stuff for different cases. So you may need to understand this also. And the transfer function can always be derived from the state space model. We have proved to you that from here, alright, your transfer function is equals to this thing over here. If you know your A, you know your B, your D and C, you can straight away compute your transfer function already. Alright, same thing if you have a C bar, A bar, B bar and D bar, alright, it's a similarity transformation, you'll still get back another different form of transfer function, but in a similar way. Alright, that's just the meaning of it. And then do they know that your transfer function model might be only a partial description of the system, because in your observable system, alright, you may have observable part and unobservable part. Alright, so you may actually lack of something that you didn't actually see. You may actually unforesee certain stuff. So you may need to understand this and predict. Likewise, for the controllable or uncontrollable, you also need to foresee all these things for over here. Alright, so you may need to foresee uncontrollable part and find ways to actually improve, to actually make it to be controllable and things like that. And for my personal summary is that I feel that the column for controllability, you're comparing in terms of columns. Alright, in terms of columns, first column and second column, you're going to compare between columns. For the observable part, you're going to compare between rows. Alright, between rows over here. This is one row, second row. Okay, and then their equations are very similar, such that for the controllability part, alright, is B, and then the next one is AB. If you have a 3 times 3 matrix, you have A square B and so on and so forth. Okay, for the observable part, you have C, alright, you have CA and then CA square. So you're comparing rows over here, as you can see, for observability. Okay, for the controllability, you're comparing in terms of a column, one column by column. Alright, so I hope that this is all pretty clear for you. And nonetheless, RC is talking about the rank of controllability, while RO, alright, is the rank of observability. Okay, and therefore using your test, wherever you decide whether is it a fully controllable or not fully controllable, not fully controllable or not fully observable, then you're gonna use your decomposition to decompose your transfer function over here, or your block diagram over here, so that you can better model your system. If it's fully controllable, then your system is good already, no need to do anything, I think. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, this is it. See you soon.